Okay, so first update, everyone, is that of the sneaky snapshot. Okay, so the sneaky snapshot has been taken. For everyone, I'm sure you guys know that by now. We took an official snapshot. This occurred on the 14th of April, 2022, at about 9:36 p.m. UTC time. Okay, at this time, 5,879 perfect pairs were still held across 2,992 addresses. So nice to see a lot of those diamond hands holding on to these perfect pairs. Okay, so essentially, the sneaky snapshot price will just be given per perfect pair owned. There is no benefit of separating them across addresses. One price will be given per perfect pair. So how we decided to do this is that the prizes for the sneaky snapshot will be broken down into rarity tiers. Okay, we decided that it'd be a little bit more unique this way, and it would be more fun if we did something a little bit different, a little bit out of the norm. So we decided, that everyone will be airdropped an NFT, and then when this reveals, it'll be about maybe 24, 48 hours later, right? It'll reveal out of 3 rarities. Okay, so the NFT itself consists 3 rarities with 3 unique artwork for each one, and each artwork will represent what rarity tier you are in. Okay, so the rarity tier that you reveal will determine which prize you get. We will announce officially the odds of the rarities later on in this week, and then once the reveal has done, we will announce what each person gets for each rarity prize. So that is it for the sneaky snapshot. The art is really nice, and I hope you guys are excited. It'll be some really good prizes, and can't wait to see which one of you guys get the rare tiers one. Okay,
Alright.
Fred.
Yeah, the Blood Rework, a little update. So the backend for the Blood Rework is basically near completion. We are still working on the front end, which is where you'll be claiming the blood bag. That is taking a bit longer than expected. There are multiple steps to this. First, it has to be assigned, then developed, and then integrated. So it is a process, but we are working hard on it. So once that is complete, we will integrate it, and then we will begin the migration. So we're essentially keeping the Polygon token, and then just unstaking from the Ethereum side, and then we will refund the gas for unstaking, and everyone will get their tokens on Polygon, and then we'll exclusively use that going forward. And yeah, that's because if we were to issue blood on Polygon for the blood bags, then if people bridge back to Ethereum, it would run out. So we can't have that. So yeah, that is the update on that. And yeah, working as hard as we can, and it'll be out ASAP.
Yes, that is true.
Bullish on Fred.
Yep. So very bullish on Freddie. I haven't heard him speak a
A full sentence.
full-on paragraph like that. It's been a while, isn't it? Yeah.
Took a lot.
Cool.
So the next thing is on the blood shop. There's not too much to update here. If you did read the announcement yesterday when we replenished it, there's a ton of new items in there, along with a restock of some of the most popular items from the first week. We did reduce some of the prices this week. We just wanted to be careful in the first week that we didn't want everything going out of stock instantly before everyone got a chance to see the blood shop. So we're going to be continually monitoring these, changing the prices. We don't want it to be a fact that all of the gift cards and all of the prizes are quote unquote overpriced. We want people to be excited to see the new items that are every week and be buying them if they are appealing to them. So if you do have any suggestions of items you would specifically buy from the blood shop, or things that you wish you could see, or if you're from a region where we maybe haven't give a gift card so far, it's been quite tricky for us to juggle exactly which gift cards and which regions we're able to put in. So if you do have specific suggestions of ones you definitely want to see, please put them in the community suggestions and we'll try and implement them in the coming weeks. And then just to address a few questions, I've seen a few messages of people who were buying things and bidding on things on how they exactly get the prizes. So the ones that are bidding and end after 7 days, they have more of a manual aspect to them. So once you win the bid, you'll be able to see that you're the winner. But then after that, please wait for us to contact you, which will usually be within 1 or 2 days of the winners being announced. And then for the first come first serve ones, you should see a reveal prizes button once you've purchased it, but it could take up to 24 hours to show. So if you do purchase something from the Blood Shop and it's not available instantly, please just check back later and you'll be able to redeem and see the code.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. I hope it's nice to see that everyone is enjoying the Blood Shop lately, and we will keep trying to do as much as we can to keep it as exciting and innovative for you guys. Okay, so next announcement or topic to go over is the Coinbase beta. Um, pronunciation for this word is a little bit difficult for Mr. 2D. Okay, so we're excited to see that our partners at Coinbase launched the beta of their NFT marketplace. This is something that everyone has been looking forward to for quite a while. And it's also, we're happy to see and announce that the vampires and the bats have been verified, and we have already contacted Coinbase to have the vampresses verified as well. So, this is just more exposure for everyone. And once they launch their full NFT marketplace, it's going to be exciting for us to see that SVS is one of the collections that is already on there, that was already on there from the start, as well as it's being verified amongst the other ones. So yes, we left the links to the collections in the announcement, but for sure, feel free to check them out and have a look over there.
Yeah, the next update is for merch. I know last week we discussed giving a little bit of insight of the process, bringing on our advisor to kind of help with that. So we did want to give you guys an update this week, but unfortunately, due to the COVID situation in China, it's an ongoing situation. Things have been a little bit delayed in that sense of us getting the samples for the cut and sew blanks. So we will have an update for you shortly, but we have progressed on some of the accessories and stuff that we've been working on. So there is some progress being made, and might have just been a little bit of a teaser thrown in there in the announcement. So something to keep an eye out for. Yeah.
Yes. Rion, you're next with the champagne.
Yeah, so the next one is on the champagne competition, which does end today. A lot of people enjoyed the first competition that was held in London a few weeks ago. I know the 2 people that attended that loved it, and we then decided that we're going to do a second and then potentially more after that, chances for people to taste the champagne before it releases. So the second private tasting of the champagne before the release will be occurring this week on the 23rd of April in Paris. The 2 winners who posted their story in the competitions channel were contacted today. So the 2 winners know who they are and will be posting after the AMA on who these 2 winners are. Both of them are from the US, so they'll be traveling over to Paris over the next day or 2, ready for the 23rd. All expenses paid to have a 5-star dinner with our champagne connoisseur and be the 3rd and 4th SVS community member to taste the champagne. We do hope to offer this at least one more time in a different location before the official release to get even more community members being able to taste it before the release. So after we announce the 3rd and 4th winner later tonight, we'll try and get details on any potential further competitions over the coming days.
Yes, so I think that's another one that's super cool and exciting. People get to travel the world on our expense to be able to experience something cool. So okay, the last little announcement is that of Lair TV. So we hope everyone enjoyed the first ever Lair TV last week. The concept has been something that we've been working on for a while. So last week it was on Twitter Spaces. Oh, sorry, I burped. Oh, God. Okay, so the second episode of LED TV will also be live on Twitter Spaces, and it is going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. So normally we try to do the LED TV episodes at about 2 p.m. EST, but our guest has some timing issues. So yes, the guest will be announced in a tweet later tonight. once the AMA concludes. But yeah, we hope everyone tunes in. The guest is going to be, we're excited for it for sure. And we think you guys will too. So maybe we'll announce it in the AMA later on. It's an NFT project. So yeah, it's going to be fun for sure. Okay, so next, normally we go to the Slido, but since we have really a lot of focus on the blood bank and proposals and what we can do going forward. Now, what we are going to be doing each week at AMA is that we will just quick fire and go through what the Met Quorum ones are and what didn't meet quickly, and we'll just go through the proposals now briefly before we go on. Okay, so first of all, the first proposal to go that met was the invest blood bank funds into integrating with Yuga Labs, the other side. First of all, just before I continue, these are the ones that met the quorum and we're considering to be reformatted if necessary before we put up as an official proposal to see what everyone thinks, and then we could go on for that, just like how we did the blood rework, which is coming soon. So, okay, the invest blood bank funds into integrating with Yuga Labs. This met the quorum. Support was in favor, 99.86% of 1,400 votes. This proposal suggests becoming a lead partner with the other side or paying to be featured in their videos. This would be wildly expensive, but it would also be great visibility, in my opinion. The pump probably wouldn't sustain itself, unless we actually partner with them. Okay, so that is the first one. So we're going to quickly brief through them. So Ryan will do the next one.
Yeah, the second one was about the weekly blood bag. I believe the original one was put up by MGM on this, which was the initial blood bag idea as it was. Obviously, everybody knows through our Medium article that was posted last week and what Freddie's working on now, that essentially this blood bag proposal was what we were working on anyway, with the SVS families and the bonuses for certain rarities and things like that. So this did pass with 3,300 votes and an 82%. So this is obviously in the process of being implemented and didn't necessarily need to be reformatted and put up as an official vote. The one thing is obviously on the 2-week claim period. I know there were originally a few dissenters of this who didn't agree with it, but then there was another proposal put up about this, which it was close to 50-50, but it did pass, that people are not too happy about having to claim every 2 weeks. Obviously on the official proposal side, this is something we're considering as a team and want to get out as soon as possible. We definitely don't want to push the blood rework with or without this, without it being more of a discussion between people. It did pass, so we are looking back. I just wanted to put a note on this, being that one of the reasons that a lot of people believe that we put the initial thing on was that we wanted this to be as deflationary for the token, where we almost wanted people to not claim every 2 weeks, but that it wasn't the case. The main reason for the 2-week thing in the beginning was that a lot of the prizes that we want to put in the blood bags are timely. So for example, in May's blood bag, we would want to put in whitelist spots for some of the projects we've secured for May in May the 1st's blood bag. So obviously if people weren't claiming May's blood bag until June, July, August, September, they're taking away a whitelist spot from the community, essentially, as if they weren't claiming it but they did win it, they weren't getting it. And then another example of this will be down the line in October when we're hosting our big Halloween event. We might want to give away some VIP spots, we might want to give away some meet and greets, we might want to do meet and greets with the celebrity that we have lined up for the event, and again give them away in the blood bag. So the main reason for this 2-week claim was more on a timely manner, where a lot of the prizes would almost need to be claimed within that 2-week period. So obviously when we do rework this 2-week thing along with the prizes, we're obviously just going to have to work how we're going to do the prizes and how we're going to be able to fairly distribute them, as obviously it would be randomly distributed between the blood bags, but then if people were claiming the blood bags 3 months later and having prizes that have almost expired, that wouldn't really work.
Muted. Okay, so the next one is the BTC adding Bitcoin to the SVS treasury. This met the quorum. Majority was against it, with only 34% in support and of 1.7k votes. This proposal suggests buying 1 Bitcoin for roughly 13.23 Ethereum, which is a small percentage of the DAO fund at the time of writing it. Purpose for this was diversification of assets. While a good thing, may not be a great call here. So yes, that's that one. Okay. Okay. The next proposal. Just scroll quickly. Okay, so the next proposal is that of the blood token exchange trio. So this met the quorum across the board. Majority of people in support was in favor of this. This was an average of 94%, let's say, with 3.6k votes. Essentially, this proposal suggests listing blood on CoinGecko, hiring a market maker like Skynet, listing it on an exchange or CX, as some of you guys may know, like KuCoin. Proposed cost range between a flat rate of 70,000 to 270,000 and a monthly retainer fee of 10,000 USD. Yeah. Okay. So yes, we will be starting the process for the CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, and obviously this was met in huge favor. So the team will be taking this into account, and then we will be seeing how we can adjust it to see what is most doable, and of course the most important thing is for it to be as sustainable as possible. So yes, definitely. Then you can go to the next one.
Yep, the next one is participate within 3 NFT conferences with a booth and a party. This did meet the quorum, obviously, as well, and the support was in favour with just over 50% and 2,000 votes. This suggested allocating funds to have both a booth and a party at 3 different NFT events within this year. Again, with staff for these, having the parties, inviting community members. Obviously, as we've mentioned for a while, we already planned NFT NYC, so that will be almost the first one of these that we will be attending. And yeah, so we will be planning these 3 events, and this one almost doesn't require a second community vote on this, as we will be almost proceeding with the 3. It was always within our plans to be at more than 3 events and parties and hosting things like this year anyway.
Okay, and the final one for the Met Quorum is that of the Alpha whitelist channel to be publicly viewed. So this met the quorum. Support was in favor with 79% vote, 1,200 votes. So essentially, this is just making the Alpha whitelist channel public instead of private to holders. This obviously is interesting. Some people might not be happy. Some people might be happy, some people might not be happy, but since this passed the quorum, we're going to be seeing how doable this is. We'll be discussing this internally, and then we will be pushing an update with which ones we're going to be taking further and putting out an official proposal for them to the community, and then carrying forward with them. So now next one, Rion will just go through all the failed ones quickly, and then we will carry on to the Slido, and then if any of you guys have hands up, we will go on from there. Thank you.
So we won't take up too much time on the failed to meet quorums, as obviously these didn't get the whole community voting, and these are the ones that didn't get over 1,000 votes. But it is worth saying that we're obviously the whole community, our team, including Dalman Thrall and the elders, we're always all looking through all of the snapshots. So even if it doesn't necessarily meet quorum, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be taking aspects from these as we do with the likes of community suggestions as well. So the first one is using the blood bank to maintain blood and ETH liquidity. This failed to meet, although the support was in favour, and those who seemingly did vote were in favour of maintaining blood and ETH liquidity through the blood bank. The second one was matching the whitelist raffle ticket amount with the amount of Vamps held. This is something that people have been saying for a long time, and almost something we agree with. The only thing is, obviously, the more Vamps held is the more blood that people are generating anyway. So matching the whitelist ticket amount with the amount of Vamps held almost gives a double advantage there, because they're obviously generating more blood to enter more times, but then they'd be multiplying all of them increased entries with the amount of Vamps as well. And this is a bit of the feedback that I heard on this as well, which is perhaps why it didn't meet the quorum. The next one is Rarity-Based blood rewards. The support was in favour, and it suggests that blood rewards should reflect the rarity of the Vamps to incentivise buying rares instead of only commons. I think it doesn't really matter that this one didn't meet quorum as well, because there are rarity-based rewards within the blood bags anyway. We haven't quite put out the numbers and specific details on this yet, and I do believe there's a Slido question on this as well, so we will get to that in a few moments. The next one is P2E to the SVS game. The support was in favour quite drastically, but it only got 297 votes. This is suggesting bringing P2E aspects to Crass's game. The next one was passive staking mechanisms, which failed to meet, but obviously if you read our Medium last week, we are going to be moving to the passive staking model with the blood bags once released. The next thing is reducing charity donating to sweep. Obviously, we'd already said that we were giving away the 10 ETH, and we did make this 10 ETH donation shortly after the Vamps mint. Obviously, moving forward though, when we do charity donations, this is obviously something to keep in mind. Obviously, not about using charity donations to sweep, but if people think they should be reduced or even increased amounts, then that will be a DAO vote at the time of the charity donation.
Okay, I think that's it for the quorum
Yeah, there are a
stuff.
few more. There's a few more, but these are some of the older ones. But obviously, the snapshot site is up. Some of them suggest DAO real estate, some other aspects for the Vampresses, using SVS as a launch pad, along with making whitelists exclusively for SVS holders. Quite a lot of these got a very low number of votes. So obviously people are free to tweak these and post them up again if they think that there's overwhelming aspects that held them down. Obviously everyone who owns a Vampres or BAT is able to make a proposal. So obviously it's not something where if a proposal fails you can just keep continually posting it until you almost drill it into people's heads. But obviously people are free to post as many snapshots as they want, and people are able to keep voting them, and then obviously if they do meet the quorum, we'll be talking about them at the beginning of AMAs and then implementing them into official vote.
It is perfect. Well, that was fast, Ryan. Jesus. Okay, yeah, so I see some messages about the events and stuff as well before I move on to the Slido. Essentially, with NFT NYC, we have some stuff that we have like planned that's more unique and not the normal party and stuff like that. We have some stuff that we think will be pretty cool for holders and will be nice exposure for people who are not holders as well. We're in talks with the said people to make this happen right now. We have the dates in mind already. And yes, the same for the London and Champagne launch event where, we will be also announcing that as soon as we have everything finalized. We're quite deep in talks and meetings for stuff like that. So yes, sir. So that should be fun. Maybe we'll do a competition for the Champagne launch event as well. Maybe like one or two of you guys can be flown out to London or something for Champagne launch party. How about that? How exciting. My chair is also dying if you could hear that. Oh my god. Okay, so shall we move on to the Slido?
Yeah, I think we should. We're about 30 minutes in, which is usually where we are, so it's good that we got the proposals in as well in the normal time that we would have just been doing the announcements. And then if there's any hands near the end, we can answer some live as well.
Yes, so Rion will ask me the first question of the Slido, and then we shall go on from there.
Yep, so the first one is from M. Barton, and he says, is the blood rework still planned to go through by the end of this week?
Yes, Barton, it is. That is the plan. Freddie made it very clear that it is doable. It was doable, he said, word for word, actually. So yes, definitely that is the plan. It's to come by the end of the week. Thank you, Barden. And yes, so as far as it goes, there's really nothing else to say about that, right? Unless Freddie has some words, which should only be very positive about it being out by Sunday. Oh, okay. I guess he's done with his one paragraph a day. Okay, so the next question I have for Rion is the Blood Shop is off to a nice start, but for all the time it took to create, there's other shops doing the same thing plus more. What will make SVS stand out?
Yeah, so obviously this is a very valid question, and we obviously did plan to have more than just gift cards and physical items in the blood shop, and we obviously still plan to. The first week was more of a test run. We wanted everyone to get familiar with the blood shop, how the raffles work, and how the first come first serve ones work. It is worth mentioning that as of next week, I believe we're going to have auctions as well, where we're going to have specific items up for grabs where it's going to specifically go to the highest bidder. So the person who wants the item the most will be the one who gets it at the end, which should be an interesting and fun one, especially with some of the items we've got planned. And this also brings up a good question where we also want to be adding not just these physical items and gift cards, but also anything else other people have to suggest. One thing we will be adding is NFTs, not only SVS NFTs of vampires, vampresses, and bats. As I heard, that's a very good one where a lot of people are they don't have a full SVS family. They might have a Vampress, but they don't have a vampire. They might have a bat, but without a vampire as well. So we do want to offer the ability for both bidding, raffles, and first come first serve buying with blood of SVS NFTs. But we also want to have other collections NFTs as well. So if you do have suggestions of not only NFTs but other things you want to see in the blood shop, please do put them in the community suggestions, and we'll try and get as many items that people want into the blood shop starting from next week.
Hey, thank you. Real, am I unmuted, guys?
Yep, you are. The next question is, will the blood shop eventually contain whitelist spots that you're able to purchase or auction versus the raffle? Many vamps would like to just straight up be able to purchase them versus raffle chances.
Internet Mick Ryan is fucking speeding today. Okay, yes, sorry. For the second time today, yes, Barton. The bloodshot will eventually contain whitelist spots, because you put whitelist twice. Whitelist spots that are purchased auction against raffle. Yes, Barton. Yes, Barton. You get 2 of those from me today. And essentially, yep, that is the plan. We want to make some of the blood shop prizes, or not prizes, items, I think is a more appropriate word, more NFT based as well. So this is something that we are going to be working on as well, and it shall definitely be coming out. Okay, I think Rion, I have a question for Rion first. Sorry, you guys, I keep referring to him as Rion, unfortunately. That's his speedy name when he's going quick, you know? Okay, I hope the reward for the sneaky snapshot is announced today. This shouldn't be another thing we have to wait on, full stop. No space after the full stop. The team has had 8 weeks to figure it out.
Yeah, so we just wanted to mention on this, I know we went through it at the beginning of the AMA, and we don't have to watch how fast I'm talking now. Yeah, so this definitely isn't something where we've waited 8 weeks and we still don't know what we're going to give. We've known since day one, even before the Vampress mint, exactly how it was going to work, and that we wanted to be able to give people different tiers of items, not just that everybody would get exactly the same. So it's definitely not a fact that we didn't know what the item was and that we want to keep people waiting. Obviously, we said that the snapshot would be taken before 8 weeks, which happened around a week ago now, and then this weekend we're going to be commencing the actual giving out of prizes via the NFT airdrops that 2D mentioned at the beginning of the call. We did put that in the announcement before the AMA, so if you did miss us explaining it earlier, be sure to review the recording after this, or check the announcements channel where there's a little bit of detail on how the Sneaky Snapshot prize giving out is going to happen. But as this does happen and roll out over the next few days, we're going to give more details on that as well. The next one is, when can we expect marketing execution? Says Mr. Anonymous.
Oh, that's the question. Short one, straight to the point. Okay,
Yep.
so so obviously we know marketing is a sore spot or a hot topic, and it's something that we are working on. We had a meeting with a marketing agency last week, crypto native one. So essentially, then we had a meeting with them, and then it would be following up. We have a follow up with them soon, but essentially we have been given a large KOL list. For some of you guys may not know, KOL is a fancy term for influencer, key opinion leader. So we have been given a large KOL list that feels that they would suit SVS and how they can help us progress moving forward. So yes, we're in talks with that and progressing with that list and trying to work towards finalizing that. And then as soon as we can, we will be getting them to be pushing out more and more for the marketing end, right? Us, obviously, most of you guys know that KOLs are very important and something that we have been requested a lot of. So when we speak to these agencies or big crypto native ones to run these campaigns, it's something that we are pushing for as well to find the best fit and a bunch of KOLs to accommodate SVS and help us grow as large as possible. Okay. Next question I have for Rion is, I don't understand why we still seem to have no advertising / marketing every time we make any. Okay, I shall answer that. Look, so there's been no advertising, blah, 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 zero volume anytime. We could see a pump, nothing. So this ties into the one I just said. There was also another question, similar to this. There's been a lot of marketing questions, and I'm getting a lot of these. So essentially, this is it. How it's gonna, we're gonna go along with it, right? We had a big meeting with a crypto native marketing agency. We've been given a short list of KOLs. It's actually quite large, and then we're going to be having a call with them once they break down and approach each KOL and see how they can work with us over a long-term basis to run a effective campaign for SVS. Especially, we want this to be a key part of how we move forward, especially with the events coming up, NFT NYC, Coinbase full launch, hopefully, and then stuff like that. Okay. Rion, I have next question is for Rion. Bonzo, no coke jokes here, okay? Unfortunately. Does Vamps Rarity contribute to the proposed bonus of blood bags, or is it just Vamp Rarities?
No, it's not just Vamp Rarities. It is Vamps, and Bats. So we're not excluding anything on that front. Again, like I mentioned on the last question about the specifics and the numbers, we didn't want to release them in the original medium, as the original medium just tended to get the idea across of exactly how the blood bags and the blood boost bonuses are going to work. But obviously, as Freddie's finishing up now, we're going to have an almost final medium at the end, which is going to say exactly what bonuses are going to be given. But no, it's definitely not just the Vamp that are going to give rarity bonuses. It's the Vampresses and the Bats. And then obviously down the line, when it gets to the Vampress companions as well, perhaps they will be included in some sort of blood bag boost as well. The next question is from K-Baller, and he says, I want to thank the SVS team for all the support for my health problems. You guys keep delivering and make it more than just an NFT. Thank you.
You're welcome, K-Bala. First of all, I want to say that I do appreciate you. You've been here for quite a long time. I remember you for quite a while. I see you in the lair almost every day. So we love K-Bala. Can we get a love heart in the chat for K-Bala, please? At the end of the day, this is what some of it is about, right? It's all about a community, and then it's just we are here for each other no matter what. My DMs are always open for you guys. At the end of the day, and this is something that we're super happy to have built a community like this, right, where everyone is looking forward to it and looking forward to just being here and being there for each other. So, damn, that's a lot of love hearts. My God. Confused me for a second.
Okay, the next question is from Booknerd, and he says, are you moving forward with the listing process for CMC and CG?
Yep. So, we covered this in the proposal quorums. And essentially, once a proposal has made a certain point, like a certain percentage, we take them into deeper consideration. So it's stuff like the exchange listing, the market making, and CGC, CMC, stuff like that. So we can confidently say that we will be starting the process, listing process for CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. And as for the other stuff, we will be taking it to the back door a little bit and deciding how we can address it and move forward with it in a way that is most sustainable for SVS over a long-term period. So definitely, this is something that we're looking to push out as soon as we can, probably like a big update, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, next question I have for Ryan is: are Vamps going to have a story like quote-unquote creatures of the night? We need something to create our identity as community and folks who identify as such.
Yeah, so this is actually a very good question because it's something we've considered and almost been ready to implement for quite a long time now. For a few months, we've planned out the lore. We've been having lore images drawn. I know Mig's been doing some of these, but along with our artist Pedro, who you will see in the chat with the art bat roll. So he's been a great help as well, but the law is definitely something that's at the forefront that we've been thinking of. We originally had planned to at least begin the law on a tab on our website when that released, but obviously once we released the website, we then still had the dash to put out, and the dash with its functionality almost took precedent over the law, which is almost our bad really, because we definitely do want to have a law that people can follow. I do agree that it brings a lot to the brand identity and what people can relate with. So this is something that we've been discussing as a team this week, because obviously we don't want to delay it anymore when the law's almost ready and we've got the images and things and the artwork ready to go. It's not something that we should be holding back for the sake of implementation. So we will be thinking on how we can push this out as soon as possible to at least get the law rolling, and then over the months we can be expanding on that as we do implement it into the website and our Twitter and things like that. The next question is from Mr. Anonymous. He says, many projects will want to buy Bored Ape Land. As SVS, I think you should buy Bored Ape Land. We should give this a little attention. What do you guys think?
So obviously, once more information about this is released, we can make a concrete decision. But of course, as always, if you guys think that this is something of importance and you guys think would benefit SVS as a whole and everyone involved, then you should step forward, make a proposal, obviously, to see what the other holders and other people in the layer think of the proposal. And of course, if it passes the quorum, then we can think about it and see how we can make it as beneficial as possible for us going forward. So first, I don't think this is a bad suggestion at all. But yeah, we should get it out there and have it as an official proposal, and then Daum and Thrall will write about it, and then we shall see their feedback and go from there. Okay, I have a question for T. First one of the day, actually. So T, the question is, would it be possible to drop some money on a serious brand collaboration? Question mark, with brands like Kith, Supreme, Palace, ASSC, Huff, Stussy, Babe, etc. Sneaker kids have come back to SVS, Okay, yeah, that's for T.
Yeah. Well, we already have like a couple locked down, and as we mentioned earlier, that we kind of decided to, kind of do our own thing for the time being and re-explore those, just because we weren't too excited about, the designs and stuff we were presented with. No disrespect to the other brand, it was just they have their hands full, and we're kind of working our own stuff. So we will, re-explore those once we figure out our own stuff and have the time to actually, work with them on, designing. But like obviously Kith, Supreme, Palace, of course, like if, a collaboration is on the table, we will definitely pursue it. I mean, it's always been, we all come from that scene, so it's definitely something of interest and that we can look into.
Okay, the next question is another one from Booknerd, and he says, have a business development manager who focuses on partnerships with other vampire communities. These vampire communities are the most likely adopters as NFTs become more commonly accepted.
Essentially, the answer is we think yes, this is a good idea. Normally, as we have seen in maybe the last 8 months or so, SVS has been around for a while, where NFTs were not as big or have as much outreach as possible. Usually, it was seen as a bad idea, because non-crypto native people aren't really going to buy into stuff like this or NFTs. Because they are the target, right? So even if they don't know what NFTs are, it's a non-starter. We've had experience with traditional marketing, or I would just say non-crypto native marketing. We had like billboards up and stuff like that, and we did see that a lot of it did not translate very well. But but with SVS now being a partner of Coinbase and us already being on the beta, which is super exciting, already verified on 2 out of 3 of our collections. And as Coinbase launches, statistically, if you guys look at the number of wallets and people who are registered with Coinbase, as Coinbase launches, there will be even more, more normal people or new people coming into the crypto scene. And then this is something that we are beginning and super excited to explore. So definitely this is the route that we think is a good idea, and then we will be exploring that further for sure. So I think for the Slido, I think there's been quite a lot today. So we're gonna go to the hands now. There's only one hand up. So if some of you guys you just put your hands up as well, Meg has, been with this family. If you want to say hello to Meg as well, this is your chat. So yes, could we just get the hands up and then we'll go over to that.
You guys hear me okay?
Yep,
Yeah,
we can.
How are you?
Hello?
Now, hello.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, we can hear
We
you.
can hear
We
you.
can hear you for sure.
For some reason, I can't hear myself, which is probably a good thing.
Oh.
So first one, I got a question. Second one's going to be kind of a statement. So we are on Coinbase. So is that something that we have to do, like as far as Looks Rare does, when we have to list our Vamps for sale, or does it transfer over from the OS listings?
Do you mean do you have to list them manually over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in beta right now, so things will change. Nothing's set in stone. But if I'm not wrong right now, it is manual, if I'm not wrong, because someone was saying in chat, nobody lists their VAMP, so he can list his and set the floor at 420 ETH, because today is 420. But essentially, yes, it's manual list right now. But obviously things are going to change, right? They're in beta, and we're going to see how it progresses going forward, I guess, which is exciting.
So help me understand, just because I'm a little uneducated. In beta means what? That you're going to work on a process to get them transferred over?
I mean, I don't know, because we're not Coinbase, right? So Coinbase is in beta right now. So I guess they're working out and seeing how things can progress forward for them. But as it stands, it's manual listing. But by the time they release their full product, I have no idea whether it will still be manual listing or not, or whether they transfer over. It's not something that I've been made aware of, if I'm honest. So yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
think the
I guess
details aren't too
it's
clear
beta.
right now,
Yep.
because I know today that only almost the people who have partnered with them are the ones who've been allowed on the platform, along with influencers. I know there's people who are almost 50, 100th in line who still haven't been invited, so it's very much that they're just using today almost as a marketing thing. I know they're using it a lot on Twitter as well and replying to their partner groups, but I don't think they've actually given any of the public, especially even those that are at the top of the list, access yet. I know when I was using it on our key this morning that they gave us to have access, the search functions were still a bit buggy and things like that. So I think it is very much almost closed beta at the minute, although they're calling it open. And I'm sure that as they allow more and more people in, it'll become more and more apparent on how they're going to be having people list NFTs and whether that will go between platforms as well.
Got it. Okay.
Be the case.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, Mr. Barden, as we see, Coinbase NFT did reply to Mr. Barden today with a very juicy LFG. So I did see that, Mr. Barden. Nice tweet. And yes, I think you have something else, KA.
Yeah, just I kind of wanted to make more of a statement to the community. I think as we've seen, those of you that are on stage at the moment, you have been consistently kind of going at your own speed and taking our feedback as we give it to you. I think what I would implore us as shareholders to do is kind of start to quiet the civil unrest that we are being a part of in the alpha chat and in the layer chat. Because what I'm noticing, unfortunately, is it's starting to spread into other discords and then spilling out into Twitter. And it's not helping our bags. It's not helping us promote ourselves. I understand there's frustration, and we'd like more things to be done quickly, and we would like our things to go in a different way at times. But I think we should look at it as we are. Let's say if we worked for Verizon and we had phones, we wouldn't talk about how terrible our phones are, right? I think we need to stay a lot more positive on the Twitter spaces, within the other discords that we're in, within the other alpha groups that we are in, that we are a blue chip project and we need to act accordingly. Because at the end of the day, we're truly just hurting ourselves. It's a self-inflicted wound. So I think we need to do a better job as a community to support each other, support you guys, and protect our investment.
Essentially, yep. So I do. I know that was not a question; it was a statement. But essentially, I think you are quite spot on with that. People have their frustrations and things like that. I can't blame them. But essentially, it is always positive to. It's always good to remain positive and kind of, give off a certain vibe, especially when you want new people to come into the Discord, right? And you want them to
Correct.
see, you
Correct.
want them, their first impression is to see something positive and for them to they want to be part of it as well, right? So, we think that this is as important as it gets, I think this is a super strong point, KA. Thank you. Essentially, just think about it as a first impression, right, guys? I understand that some things may not be the best, but no, you want the people who see this for the first time to want to be part of the experience rather than want to be turned off or away from it, right? No matter what, we continue to work. We've been at this full time for a long time. We have a lot of big things coming, and we are trying to push it as fast as we can. And we just appreciate the community support all the time. And NFT space is very fast paced, and things keep moving at a crazy rate. But yes, we appreciate all the OG Vamps and all the original guys that are here from the start and continue to be here. And we definitely are trying to employ and implore the best outcome we can.
Thanks for having me up, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay, so there's no hands right now. There's like 9 minutes left. If some of you want to put your hands up, this is your chance. If not, is Brock here today, Rion? I don't think so, right?
I haven't seen him today, unfortunately, but we do have OG Neil up. So,
guys, how are you doing?
hey Neil, how are you?
And how are you? I heard one word out of you.
You hear me, guys?
Yeah, a bit soft, but it is doable. Damn, so close.
So close.
OG Neil did say that he was high as fuck. So
Oh, did he?
I think that's all we're gonna get out of him.
Okay. Well, that works. Oh, there's one more hand. Oh, he put his hand up again, Rion.
He can't find the unmute button, which is very unfortunate.
How? I know it's 420 today, isn't it, OG Neil? But Jesus. Oh, he's unmuted.
He's figuring out how to get the vocal cords going.
Okay, while OG Neil is looking for his unmute button, I have a question from Slido for Rion. Now that the proposal to remove the 2-week claim period on blood has been passed, will you be removing this from the platform?
Yeah, we did touch on this earlier, but I just wanted to clarify, in case some people weren't too sure, that the 2-week claim period is only something that we wanted because some of the prizes will be time gated. As I mentioned, some of the examples earlier, such as VIP experiences, access to events, and whitelist spots, are going to be very timely. For example, we planned that in the May the 1st blood bag, there would be a couple of whitelist spots for some of the projects we have in the preceding week, perhaps the 5th of May, the 8th of May, the 10th of May, for example. So as much as on the blood side, it wouldn't be necessary for us to put this time gate because the blood could be claimed at any time. It's just more on the prize side, which is why we wanted the time gate. So now that the proposal has passed, it passed the quorum, and it was in agreement that people were not in favour of the 2-week blood bag, we will be looking back at this. We perhaps will put up an official proposal or have a discussion with people on exactly how we can, still allow people access to their blood without the 2-week time gate, but also while being able to still give access to the likes of whitelist spots that aren't just going to go to waste. Because the last thing we want to do is, because for example, some of our very high tier whitelist spots, such as we had Psychedelics Anonymous and things like that, those are the sort of whitelist spots that we want to be putting into blood bags. And it would be a shame if they ended up in blood bags of people who didn't claim them until after the whitelist happened. So this is a hard one to balance, because we definitely want, to be doing it as random as possible. Obviously, the blood bags are going to be totally random as to who gets what prize. So there's no way that we could really distribute these prizes to people who are going to claim them within the time. They would have to be randomly distributed, and then there could be a case where half of the whitelist spots are not claimed by the time the whitelist happens, and then the active community members who could have quite easily had those whitelist spots would be missing out. So on this proposal, now that it's passed, we know people are not in favour of the 2 weeks, so we just need to work out a way how on the prize front we can be still distributing those fairly to people in a timely manner.
You're giving me anxiety, Ryan. Let's calm down. No, I'm kidding.
Nice
Can y'all hear me
clear
now?
For you.
Can everyone hear me?
We can.
Yeah, starting clear.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I think I was gonna mention the ghost copy thing. I wanted to hear what 2D, if y'all were thinking about whether we could try to implement the ghost copy into the Coinbase. Because as I'm seeing right now, I'm not really seeing my vampire in the wallet, which just means mine's staked, and I understand if we can't do anything. But I was curious if we were thinking about anything.
Yep. So for this, this is not a worry. No worries at all. Thanks for coming up, first of all. But yes, this is not going to be a problem because staking ends this week with the new blood rework coming out. Everyone's going to unstake, and then we will refund the amount for it, and then everyone will get their Vamps back in their wallet, and staking is going to be changed to passive staking. So you're going to get your Vamp back in your wallet. It's going to be back on your OpenSea. No ghost copies, nothing needed, and then you will still get your blood as usual. So if you would like a little bit more
that's
detail on
huge,
how that
bud.
works, yeah, I think speaking of huge and blood revamp and staking, I think you should ask Freddie to give a few words on it if you don't get it too much, and he could just give you a little brief on how it's going to happen, right? Would you
No,
guys like that, chat?
super bullish on the passive staking and the rework, and all of you guys on the stage, everybody below me. I hope you get zooted today. Find some love, find some peace, drink some blood, do whatever makes you happy. T, Ryan, Top Keg, 2D, Freddie, Mig, I'm out. It was a blessing. I'll see y'all on Coinbase. I'm going to get the floor to 420 by the end of the day.
Thank you for coming
Neil,
up.
have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, buddy.
Peace.
Okay. So that's pretty much concluded this week's AMA. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It was pretty fast. Ryan was a lot of crack for this one. I tried to mellow the pace a little bit, but yes,
we had a lot to get through.
We had a lot to get through at the end of the day. Correct. We do this every week. We try to put out as much updates as we can every week, and then we are going to, as always, push the pace and keep going and do as much as we can. So from everyone here at SVS, for this week's AMA, thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow for the spaces, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.